Dr. Jerry Rife.
Thank you. Does anybody here remember the 1950s? Okay, good. 50s, as you recall, was the time when America was just recovering and starting on the road to recovery from World War II. One of the biggest war to that date. And ABC decided that they would, or NBC, I mean, decided that they would create a documentary that would follow the U.S. Navy in its success in winning the war in the Pacific. And they wanted to do it right. You know, they wanted to do a really good job of it. And so they decided that they would get some famous music people to help with the music. And so they called the most reputable American composer of his time, Richard Rodgers, and his job was to compose music for 26 television episodes, that kind of music for the documentary that the Navy was making. A big chore. He was thrilled, of course, to do it, and he said, absolutely, and I'm going to call it my sidekick, Robert Russell Bennett. Bennett was the great arranger of music, of Broadway music, and known all over the place for his great job of doing that. His job with this project was to take the themes that Rodgers composed and turn them into music for a 13.5 hours of television. No small job at that. Now Rodgers was, as I said, one of the great composers of melodies, and Bennett was the premier orchestrator from his generation, certainly. And the music, as a result, is really intricately connected to the images of the show. You're going to see battleships and invasions on islands, and it's really linked to the terrific heroism that is expressed in the Battle on the Seas. Here's what you're going to hear. These shows are on all the time. I'm sure you've seen them. So late night, usually, if you could stay up. Bennett transcribed the music that Rodgers wrote. He wrote about 8 or 9 pages worth of music, just themes, that's all. It's in the Library of Congress if you want to go and look at it. You can see it there. And he turned that into 13.5 hours, 26 half-hour episodes for Victory at Sea. Now here you're going to hear, this is programmatic, so you're going to hear the mighty waves breaking on the shore and the moving song of the high seas, which captures in part the feeling of being at sea. I understand there's Dramamine at the out in the lobby for sale if you need some of that one out there right now. You can taste the salt water, is what I'm saying. There's also the threatening and frightening submarines at column C, beneath the Southern Cross, which is a tango rhythm, you'll hear that, the Guadalcanal March, and the sunny Pacific Islands, which you can almost hear the wind in the palm trees there. Quite interesting. And the militant, of course, the approaching storm, the attack, and the ominously quiet death and destruction following it. So it really captures all aspects of the naval battle in the Pacifics. And that's why I think Tony Ish liked this piece so much. He programmed it a lot, and I wanted to do it. And this was done on my first season with this band. It concludes as it started with a thing called the big waves. So if you grab the seat that you're sitting in and ride it out with us, I hope you enjoy Victory at Sea by Richard Rodgers and Robert Russell Bennett.